Hello friends, welcome again. In this video lecture, we will discuss about inductor filter. See, as the title I have written, inductor filter. In last lecture, we had a discussion about a full wave rectifier with capacitor filter, and even we have analyzed half wave rectifier with capacitor filter. As a review of last lecture, let me tell you that we have derived equation of ripple factor for half wave rectifier with capacitor filter and full wave rectifier with capacitor filter. Now here we are starting with inductor filter. As its name suggests, the filter circuitry includes only inductor. Only inductor. So sometimes it is called inductor input filter or L input filter, or sometimes it is called choke input, because the inductor is widely known as choke. The alternate name for the inductor is choke, so that's why some people refer it as an inductor input or choke input filter or simply choke filter. Right, so let us start with inductor. Now, as we know, the property of capacitor. What is the property of capacitor? If I write properties of capacitor, then this capacitor passes AC, is it? Whereas it blocks DC. How we have seen. Now, if it is inductor, then properties of inductor are exactly opposite to the properties of capacitor. That is, inductor passes DC, whereas it blocks AC. Look at this. AC is blocked here in inductor, whereas same AC is passed here in capacitor. Right. So that's why I said the inductor has some opposite properties to that of the capacitor. Is it? Even more than that, inductor has another good property, that it creates back EMF. The concept and the theory of back EMF is well known to us because in first year you have studied electrical machines or basic electrical engineering something. Under that you might have studied some motors, induction motors or something. Right. So the concept of back EMF is well known. Right. But then also let me tell you back EMF in short. So when current flows through the inductor, look at this, I will draw this inductor. This is a basic symbol of inductor. And when current flows through the inductor, for example, if this is the current flowing through the inductor in downward direction, right, then what will happen? Then a field associated with the inductor, is it? See, I am using a particular word, that field is associated with the inductor, is it? Otherwise, I can say like capacitor, that charge is stored into the capacitor. Is it? Charge is stored in capacitor. Is it? Some people say charge is also stored in the inductor. But see, charge or field is not stored in the inductor. It is associated with the inductor. Is it? That is the difference. Storing is different part. Associating with is different part. Is it? So, if it is a capacitor, it is electrostatic charge. If it is inductor, it is electromagnetic charge. So electrostatic charge is stored into the capacitor, whereas electromagnetic charge is associated with inductor. If this is the inductor, this is electromagnetic charge associated because it is around the inductor, is it? So when current flows, there is an electromagnetic charge created, and suddenly when you stop the current, look at this, suddenly I am stopping the current. If you suddenly stop the current, then what happens? That charge suddenly changes its polarity. Is it? When current was flowing, look at this. Let me delete this. Current is flowing in this direction. You can say the charge which is associated with the inductor, and if I want to give it polarity, then it is positive and negative. Look at this. It is the polarity of charge associated with the inductor when current is flowing in downward direction. So as soon as you break the current, right, because of any reason, if current gets stopped flowing through the inductor, then what happens? The charge suddenly get reverse. It changes the polarity, and this positive terminal becomes negative, and this negative terminal becomes positive. Is it? This is how inductor reacts. This is how inductor reacts. Is it? So it means inductor opposes change in current. Inductor opposes change in current. See, suddenly current is flowing, suddenly you stop the current. Isn't it change in current? So that change in current, is it? That inductor opposes that process, and inductor reverses its own polarity. Not inductor actually, the field associated with the inductor. Is it? So this is another property of an inductor. Is it? Now, see, as if it is capacitor, charge stores into the capacitor by charging the capacitor. Charge goes through the capacitor, or charge going from the capacitor is what discharging of the capacitor. So we was able to explain the theory with capacitor. But here, if it is inductor, it is not possible for anyone to explain operation with respect to time. Right? With respect to time, it is not possible. See, we have seen in case of capacitor, capacitor charges for time t1, and then capacitor discharges for time t2, again capacitor charges for time t1, again capacitor discharges for time t2. It was okay if it is a capacitor. We explained everything with respect to time, but it is not possible with the inductor. Is it? So that's why the operation and what I can say, the waveforms of a rectifier with inductor filter, those waveforms are always vague. It is an approximate waveforms, always. Is it? We cannot say those are the exact waveforms that I am getting with the inductor filter. No, the waveforms are always approximate. Why? It is because it is a inductor. We cannot predict what is the voltage level at which particular point if it is inductor. Is it? So let us start with actual inductor theory. It means inductor filter. In case of capacitor filter, we assume full wave rectifier, full wave center type rectifier with capacitor filter. Here also what we will do, we will draw a full wave center type rectifier with inductor filter, and it's not mandatory that all the time you use center type rectifier. You can draw a circuit diagram of any filter with bridge rectifier also. Is it? Because as I have explained the operation and the analysis with respect to center type rectifier, that's why here also, just to keep similarity, I am drawing this center type rectifier. Look at this, here a center tapping is there, and then look at this, a load resistor is connected, and then I need to add a filter into the circuit. Is it? You remember, if it is a capacitor filter, what we have done, let me change the ink. We have connected a capacitor in parallel with the resistor. A resistor which is a load resistor. Look at this. Here, load resistor is connected, and the filter component that I have connected is in parallel with the load resistor. Why it is in parallel with the load resistor? Because it's a capacitor. Now, question is, why capacitor is connected in parallel? Why not capacitor is connected in series? Is it? Look at this. If I connect capacitor in series, then let's check what will happen. Let's check. Now I am going to connect capacitor in series. Just check. I have connected a capacitor in series. Now what is the basic property of capacitor? Capacitor blocks DC and passes AC. Isn't it? Look at this. it blocks capacitor blocks DC. Now it is a rectifier. So as if it is a rectifier, what I want at the output side? At the output side, I want DC. Is it? And capacitor blocks DC. So DC voltage, whether it is pulsating, is blocked here itself. And only AC components are passed towards this load resistor. See, what's the point in passing AC component towards the load resistor? Which is not desired. So passing AC component to the load and blocking DC there itself is not useful at all. So connection of capacitor in series with the load resistor is not useful. Is it? It is not serving our purpose to get DC at the output. Is it? So that's why connecting capacitor in series is not feasible. And that is the reason capacitor is connected in parallel always. Let me repeat this. Now see what will happen if I connect capacitor in parallel. That's what it is. Look at this. Now let me remove this. No. So when I copy image, it's not possible to remove. So whatever. Let me rub it here. No, that's also not good. Then what to do? Okay, whatever. Let's make changes there itself. Now let me rub the capacitor from that way. Rub it and connect the capacitor in parallel. Now let me connect the capacitor in parallel as it was. Connect the capacitor in parallel. Now what will happen? Capacitor blocks DC. So whatever DC components are here, they get blocked here at this point. Look at this. There and whatever AC components are there, they are completely passed towards the ground. Look at this. AC components goes to ground and DC components are available at this point. At this point, if DC component is available, this DC component is available across the capacitor or across the load resistor. So I am getting DC at the output. Is it? So purpose is served. So that's why capacitor is connected in parallel. Is it? See, I didn't talk about inductor yet. I have not started inductor theory yet. I'm just telling you why capacitor is connected in parallel. Is it? As you know, capacitor is connected in parallel and inductor which has opposite properties to the capacitor, then it means inductor has to be connected in series, that is opposite to the capacitor, is it? So first check what will happen if I connect inductor in parallel. Like capacitor, connect inductor also in parallel. See, कैपेसिटर के जैसे मैंने इंडक्टर भी पैरेलल में कनेक्ट कर दिया लोड रेजिस्टर के पैरेलल में. नाउ चेक, दिस इज इंडक्टर and what is the property of inductor? Check out this. Inductor passes DC and blocks AC. Is it? So whatever DC components are there, all the DC components will get passed towards ground. So as if all DC components are passed towards ground, so what is available at this point? At this point only AC components are available. Those AC components are available across load resistor. So what we want across load resistor? AC components? Not at all. We don't want AC component across the load resistor. What we want? We want DC. But here what inductor is doing? Inductor is passing all DC components towards ground. So it means connecting inductor in parallel with the load resistor serving zero purpose. Is it? It's useless completely. For us, for rectifier, it is useless. So that's why this inductor is always connected in series. So let me connect inductor in series. Now this is what my inductor and I am going to connect in series. Now check, if inductor is connected in series, then all the DC components will get passed towards load resistor through the inductor, and whatever AC components will get blocked here. That's what we want. DC components pass towards load resistor, AC get blocked them there itself. Right? And this is why inductor is always connected in series, whereas capacitor is always connected in shunt or in parallel with the load resistor. Is it? So this is what actual circuit diagram for full wave rectifier with inductor filter. Is it? If immediately, if I draw this full wave rectifier with inductor filter, then questions will be there why inductor is connected in series, whereas capacitor we have connected in parallel with the load resistor. Is it? So that's why before the question arises, I have explained it. Is it? We already gave you the answer why inductor is in series and why capacitor is always there in parallel with the load resistor. Right. So this is what actual circuit diagram. Now let's move towards the waveforms. So drawing waveforms, as I told you that output voltage or output waveforms with respect to inductor are always approximate. Okay, so let me draw a dotted line to show that is this is what output voltage of rectifier. I said output voltage of rectifier. And if I am saying this maximum voltage or maximum current, whatever you consider, time with here I can say it is I can say it is current. Is it? Current or voltage also, no problem at all. Current or voltage, both waveforms are same. Now, if current is there on y-axis, this is maximum current, I will write Im. If this is the maximum current, then somewhere here there is an average current. Average means DC current, maybe somewhere here. Everything is approximate. Look at this. And I will write here I DC. So then what will be the output voltage? Maybe the output voltage that we are getting will be like this. Look at this. This is what actually output voltage, or let me draw it with some other color, then it will be easy to understand that this is actually output voltage. Look at this. This is actually output voltage. And then the peak to peak value, this peak to peak value, look at this. Peak to peak, this value is a ripple voltage VR. This is ripple voltage VR. So this is what the waveform of inductor filter with full wave rectifier. Is it? If you delete second cycle of the output of rectifier, you remove it, then you will get inductor filter with half wave rectifier. Is it? See what I said? Inductor filter with half wave rectifier. Now, again, there is a small theory behind that. Okay, why I am not drawing inductor filter with half wave rectifier? Let us, before starting with this full wave rectifier with inductor filter, I want to tell you that nobody goes for half wave rectifier with inductor filter. Nobody go for half wave rectifier with inductor filter. What's the reason? Look at this. When inductor filter is there with half wave rectifier, see, now I will not draw this transformer, or let me copy the transformer as it is. Where is the cursor? Here. Now this is what my rectifier, and this is half wave rectifier. Look at this, one diode, and now I will connect inductor filter. Look at the rough diagram I have drawn. Inductor filter with half wave rectifier. Now why this circuit is not there everywhere? Nobody shows you a half wave rectifier and inductor filter. I'll tell you the reason. So when positive half cycles come, look at the operation. When positive half cycle of the input signal comes, diode will get forward bias and current will start flowing through the diode. Look at this, current will start flowing through the diode, through the inductor, through the load resistor. Yes, and current will complete its path. No problem at all. Current will complete its path when positive half cycle comes. Now problem is yet to come. When negative half cycle is there, look at this. When negative half cycle comes, then this diode becomes reverse bias. As good as diode is not there in the circuit. It is open circuit completely. So if there is open circuit, the current flowing through the inductor will get blocked here itself. So current flowing through the inductor, if it get blocks, then what happens? You remember the property of inductor. This what I have explained. When current through the inductor will get blocked, then inductor changes its polarity. Not actually inductor, but the field associated with the inductor changes its polarity. So it means now if this was positive and if this was positive and if this was negative, when diode becomes reverse bias, this becomes negative and this becomes positive. Look at this. So it means now this positive voltage will get added into the output voltage. See what is happening? During negative half cycle, output voltage should not be there. Is it? During negative half cycle, there should not be output voltage. But still, I am getting some output voltage. Why? Because it is the voltage developed by the inductor. That is what we can say a back EMF. And that back EMF will get added here across the resistor. So, in negative half cycle, I will get output voltage something like this. It's a random output voltage that I will get across the resistor, which is not desired. Is it? Negative half cycle में output चाहिए ही नहीं, but still I am getting output. Why? Because of inductor. It means जो actually rectifier का operation जो था, उसको ही हम cancel कर रहे हैं. What was the operation? The operation is during negative half cycle output should not be there, but it is there because of inductor. So it means ये जो है वो rectifier का output है नहीं, जो inductor खुद से produce करके output में add किए जा रहा है. Is it? Inductor खुद से output produce कर रहा है. And that inductor is adding its own voltage, that's back EMF, into the output voltage, which is not desired. वो चाहिए नहीं किसी को. So that's why we never draw half wave rectifier with inductor filter, just because the property of inductor that it creates a back EMF whenever there is a change in current. Suddenly you stop current, it creates back EMF. So this is the property which is not useful for us, for the designers. So that's why whenever inductor is there, all the people go for full wave rectifier and not for half wave rectifier. Now, see, that was the second question generally student ask, that sir, we had half wave rectifier with capacitor filter, full wave rectifier with capacitor filter, bridge rectifier with capacitor filter. Then come to the inductor, full wave rectifier with inductor filter, but we never had half wave rectifier with inductor filter. Why we never had? This is the answer. Because inductor create back EMF which gets added into the output voltage, which is not desired. Agreed? So this is about inductor filter. Now what is our job? Our job is to analyze this waveform that I got as an output, red color waveform. And this is a ripple voltage. Now ripple voltage is available. It means that output is not pure DC. As if output is not pure DC, it means some ripple components are there. So if some ripple components are there, now it is our job to calculate how much ripple components are available. how much, what is the amount of ripple, what is the amount of AC components present in the output of full wave rectifier and inductor filter. Is it? So the next part is calculation of ripple factor, calculation for what happened to this pad. What is the next part? Next part is, let me write it as calculation for ripple. Now see, calculation for ripple is also so simple. I'm telling you simple because I'm going to use two ready-made equations. Is it? Now before starting with what I am doing exactly, I'll tell you that the output of a rectifier, a full wave rectifier, the output of full wave rectifier, that is this. This output is a periodic signal. This output is a periodic signal, and any periodic signal is represented in the form of Fourier series. In the form of Fourier series. I hope you know that Fourier series. Is it? Now, is this a new word, Fourier series? I think it is a new word for second year students, because what happens generally, side by side, when every year mathematics 3 lectures side by side, they started with mathematics, and I supposed to start with this ACD lectures. So they cover the Fourier series there. It's a part of mathematics. Fourier is the name of mathematician who invented that any periodic signal can be represented in the form of a small series. It's not small, actually it's a large series, is it? So first we need to check whether Fourier series part is there in UC syllabus. If it is there, I know it is there, but still somewhere I need to confirm, is it? So what we'll do, we'll start with this ripple factor calculation in next lecture, is it? For the time being, this inductor filter with full wave rectifier is okay. We'll stop here this time, and then in next lecture we will start with a ripple factor of inductor filter with full wave rectifier. Is that okay? Then thanks a lot.